Greetings, my name is Brian. Welcome to KillCo Whiskey Music. Today we have a very special bottle that's in here. Let me show you what it is. This is a 15-year-old Clonakilty Irish whiskey picked by the legendary Irene Tan, aka Whiskey Mentors. Probably one of the more peculiar boxes I've had to use since I had to pull it out, but I had to lift it up first, so it went through here and then pull it out. It was very confusing. It was stuck for a second. I was concerned. This is Whiskey Mentors QSO6 My Teenager. I remember my teenage years somewhat. This is cask number 16668. Wow, okay, the devil's in this whiskey. Original cask bourbon. There are only 611 bottles of this, and it is 59.3% ABV. This is nearly 60% Irish whiskey. You do not find those unless you are talking to Irene Tan. And this bottle was donated to the channel by Cliff Smith. Cliff Smith, you are awesome. I should mention this is not a cheap bottle. I was not planning to ever have this. And I do realize this is something many of you will not be able to get because, as mentioned, there's only 611 bottles. And with me holding this, there are now only 610. That was strange. That was a little better. One more. That's the stuff right there. Just kind of... Oh, yeah. I wanted to make sure I saw all the lovely color on this one, so I poured a bit more than usual. I mean, look at that. That is gorgeous. Gorgeous, I tell you. Gorgeous. It is absolutely a little darker than a typical Irish whiskey would be, but then we have to remind ourselves this spent 15 years in a barrel. So I have done a number of Clonakilty videos on here, simply because Irene has picked those bottles. Every one of them has been unique and delicious. I expect nothing less from this one. So with that said, I'm going to look forward to having this in my collection. I don't know where I'm going to put it. This is becoming a big problem. I need new shelves, and I can't afford them. The bourbon really impacted this. That's what I'm thinking by looking at it. Because if someone poured this for me and said it was bourbon, I would not question that. I'd be like, oh, okay, it's a little light for a bourbon, but, you know. But this one is, this one could fool me as a bourbon if I looked at it and didn't know it was Irish. With that said, on to the nose. Whoa. Ooh, instant saliva. Oof, these are some dense berries. Almost plum. Has me thinking of brownies too. So it's really rich. It's heavy. It's a heavy, dense Irish whiskey. Yeah, there's a subtle sweetness to this. It's fruit forward. There is something in that I'm not particularly fond of, but I can't place it. It's something that, oh, I'm reminded of where Clonakilty is and a lot about what they talk about. It's a little salty. The idea of some ocean air impacting the whiskey is possible. So there's a touch of sea salt going through the middle of this. Or almost seaweed. Was it nori? I believe that's what they use for making sushi. I get lost in this nose, man. This is nice. It's not my favorite Irish whiskey smell, but we are talking about a much higher proof, so the heaviness of it is there. Put it very simply, the age is showing up. All right, enough of that. It smells intriguing, so I want to get onto the palate. Oh my goodness. Okay, the proof isn't as... Take it back. The proof is there. That was a delayed response. Like, wait. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this has layers. It's a lingering spice on the finish. And it's slowly drying up my tongue now as I'm talking. There's very slight sweetness, so it wasn't the first thing that came to mind. And there's this berry impact that I thought of while I was drinking it. Unfortunately, what happens with some of these Irene Tan picks is the proof then shows up immediately after the first sip, and I go, hi-ya! And then anything else I just thought is gone. But that just means I need to take another sip and hold my palate briefly. See what happens next. Yeah, pretend the proof isn't there. Oh, it's nice and spicy. I was thinking of, this is one of those whiskeys that just kind of rides. Just coasts along. Just like this. Oh, it's bracing. I like it. Then it starts to dry out the finish. So it's a lingering dried fruits. So dried berries like grapes, Those would be raisins, Brian. Maybe a touch of dried cherry or dried cranberry. I do like a dried cranberry. Goes really great with oatmeal. Long finish. It's a slightly dry, yet slick feeling that's lingering on my tongue. A little oily, but still dry. That's confounding. Mm. I'm thinking of charcoal. It is not a sweet whiskey. There's a little bit, there's like a very subtle vanilla thread that goes through it because it's an Irish whiskey, but it's really hit by dense, heavy notes of brownie, dried fruits, specifically, raisins and cranberries came to mind. A touch of cherry. I had charcoal in there, and it feels like there's another fruit that's showing up. I feel like it begins with an M, but I'm not sure what it is. Yep. It's very faint sweetness and that spice. And then it just fades out. Yeah, it's a ride. It's it's this weird wave that you're riding. I keep doing this, but it just goes like that. It's a very slow fade with a mix of all these lovely flavors. I thought of golden raisins. So I don't even know if I've ever had those. Golden raisins, except they're in a cookie? Oh, wow. What a lovely thought. We're bouncing through categories here. So it was golden raisins, which paired up with the raisins I was thinking of, which then went to chocolate chip cookies with these said raisins in them. And then it made me jump one more step to a type of candy slash confectionery chocolate. I had to look this up because I can never remember how to say it. Mendiant is a type of chocolate, dried fruit, and nut. A wonderful type of confection. I don't even know if I've ever had one, but that's what came to mind, and I'm very curious to try one someday. So in that regard, this is a crazy dessert. This is absolutely something where you have a meal and you're sitting near the fireplace with friends, and you pour some of this. You put everyone in a good mood after that. Officially, this is just a sit and sip whiskey because I'm getting lost in my own mind while recording this to the point where it's like, oh wait, I should say words because there's just so much going on up here. The time is just going by without me even realizing it. Well, I will also admit this goes straight to your head. I can feel it. A wonderful way to finish March of 2024. I hope all of you had a safe and tasty Irish Whiskey Month. There you have it, folks. As always, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome. And I will see you. Hey, thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.